already settled, at least with more comforts than they found here.
Maybe they thought about a life might be ahead. Just think of the young women and men. Who could they meet for friends or ever find someone they wanted to marry?
Were the mothers with tiny babies. It must have been, whether they brought them with them across the prairie, or whether their babies were born in this wilderness. No wonder we see so many infants' markers in the older sections of the cemetery.
If anyone had a lighter burden, it must have been the children. They had to make their own fun, but they still had a whole new world to explore.
Speaking of the children, where are those two? Some things just haven't changed.
Like dawdling at bedtime.
Tori, Shelley, on the march. Double time. You've looked at those old war souvenirs and that photograph album long enough. Copy to bed.
Jeez, we just got here and you told us to go to bed? And I thought you invited us for a vacation. And a big celebration. And to see all the family.
Now be polite, girls. Aunt Mary's planning lots of fun things for all of us to do tomorrow. There'll be a big, huge parade with soldiers and entertainments of all kinds. And old cars, even oxen. There'll be a fireworks and a big picnic.
A big family reunion picnic.
Oh, come on, you two. Stop in here and get some sleep. Tomorrow you'll see how your ancestors lived. Real pioneers. Right here in Monticello.
And no roughhousing. This board stand and chair belonged to our great-great-grandmother.
They've survived 5 generations already, and I'd like to pass them on to my grandchildren.
So, settle down right away, girls. You'll have all day tomorrow to visit.
Good night, kids. Let them get out, Shelley. Now, out! When did you turn on light?
I brought the picture album. Want to look at some of these cross ladies and funny dress and these bearded old men again? No, Fisher wouldn't have been any fun to be around. I'd rather think of the Indians that really lived here. Or all those soldiers that went to the Civil War. That would be more exciting than staying here, doing chores, or going to school. I wonder what they had for toys. Or treats when they got hungry. No hamburgers, no pizza.
All right, you two. Get to sleep. You have a big day tomorrow. Pleasant dreams. Oh, good. You know, that's 3 minutes on.
To those descendants who stayed to build this community, and to you first-generation residents who have chosen to share with us the future of Monticello, we welcome you all. A special welcome to those who have come home for the biggest celebration this town has ever known. And now, let's go back about 150 years when it might all have begun this way.
I am sick unto death of this life, Bill. When I left Kentucky, I never thought it would be for the glory of mining lead outside of Dubuque, Iowa.
This is indeed no fit way for a man to live, Daniel. A real man does not earn his way by burrowing into the earth like an animal, or worse, a snake. A man has legs and is meant to walk upright like a man. His belly is for the fruits of his labor, not something to crawl upon in the dark.
You're right. A real man may work here. That is honorable enough. But he has no business being under it, at least until his life is done. Let us take our leave of these holes and strike out together for something better.
Where should we go?
West of here, I think. About a day's ride. There's land for the taking out there, and it's good land. I have some money.
As do I.
Between us, we should have enough to buy what we'll need to carve a life from the wilderness together.
I'm with you, Daniel. Done.
And done. Let's be off.
And so in the fall of 1836, there came upon the present site of Monticello 2 young and hopeful men, Daniel Barble, late of Kentucky, and William Clark, once from Ohio. They had pushed here to the south fork of the Macoconah River to find their fortunes and make for themselves new homes upon what was, at that time, the outer verge of civilization on the North American continent. The scene spread before these sturdy pioneers was one of surpassing loveliness, a fertile wilderness of great beauty, pregnant with promise.
Look at this, Clark. This land has water. enough to build 10 mills.
And there's a generous supply of timber, and good timber at that.
This is the place for me. Here I'll live and make for myself what a man makes for himself, if he is indeed a man.
And so they stayed among the wide prairies stretched in airy undulations far away, with sunny ridges and fertile slopes glowing beneath the brilliancy of the autumn sky. With saws and axes, they felled trees and carved from them the lumber for a log cabin. They worked and sweated upon the land they had chosen to be their home, raising a crude but sturdy building by the banks of the Macoka.
It's as though we were in the Garden of Eden, with no man but us to till the soil.
And we are as God, about to make our mark upon this virgin earth. And with his help, it shall be a good mark.
By the time winter set in, Bartle and Clark were comfortably lodged and well prepared to defy both tempest and frost, both savage Indian and wild beast. They spent that entire winter in lonely and monotonous seclusion, their only diversion coming in the exercise of their skills as experienced and enthusiastic hunters.
At least you could have thought to bring a deck of cards.
Ah, go shoot a rabbit.
The game was plentiful, and they did not lack for food. But what became the rich and flourishing county of Jones was then an inhospitable and wild region. Both men must have had thoughts during the long and bitter cold as to whether or not they had made the right choice in leaving the relative security of the lead mines near Dubuque. With spring, however, came hope. Hope and something else.
Hello, stranger. Who are you and what brings you here?
I am Richard South, and I have come here to settle.
What have you brought with you?
All my worldly possessions.
Yes, yes, but what is that?
That, sir, is my wife, and I'll thank you to remember that.
I knew we forgot something, Daniel.
Friend South, welcome. May you never know a winter as long as the one we just spent.
That year, Daniel Varvel was the first man to turn over the rich prairie soil of that section of Jones County. More settlers moved in. T.J. Peake, Mr. and Mrs. Benijah Beardsley and their daughters, Rebecca and Margaret, James and Mary McLaughlin and their children, and Mr. and Mrs. Thomas Gallagher. But Barbel's second winter at the settlement was spent like his first, wifeless, and with no woman in the house. Whether this lacking of the domestic comfort and home feelings, which only a woman's gentle presence can bestow, was indeed the hardship it would seem, history does not record. Nor does history record whether Bartle and Clark spent that second winter together, as they had the first. Stay that second winter they did, however, and the young colony's first marriage was solemnized during the summer of 1838. Miss Rebecca M. Beardsley became the proud bride of T.J. Peake.
Go on, but I don't know where you're going to go. We got to get that piano out of there.
Listen here, Beardsley. I thought we had an understanding regarding Becky.
We did. Really? We did. We failed whatsoever we forgot to tell her about. Don't fret. After all, there's a sister Margaret.
Margaret? That girl's barely out of her diapers, Beardsley.
Time will tell.
Damn it, Beardsley. Winter's coming on.
Yup.
The settlement of the area proceeded apace, and in December 1838, a preliminary meeting was held at the home of Barrett Whittemore of Bowen's Prairie to consider the best method of securing a regular county organization. This was accomplished on January 24, 1839. That same year saw the birth of the settlement's first children, a set of twins, boy and girl, to Mrs. Richards South.
That's my wife. And don't you forget.
Damn it, Beardsley. There's another winter coming on.
Yup.
In 1840, after 4 winters alone in the new settlement, Daniel Bartle was married to Margaret E. Beardsley.
Looks like it won't be long till winter, Daniel.
Yep.
Incense! Steve, incense are on and they have to go off!
The country is torn apart over the issue of slavery. President Lincoln has just issued a call for volunteers. A large gathering assembles at Clark's Grove, across the river from the present fairgrounds.
Now, Brian.
Listen to patriotic speeches from local dignitaries and public spiritual orators. Many young men have come forward to answer this call to arms. And now, at dusk, make their way back to Monticello to meet on the second floor of the frame schoolhouse, where today's community building now stands.
David, now.
The Reverend Mr. Amos, who also has volunteered, addresses the young recruits.
My brothers, our president has asked that we answer his call to help in putting down the rebellion. It is believed by many that with the forces the North can muster and our superior weaponry, the Confederate States will succumb within a matter of a few short months. I believe we have the Almighty on our side, and I believe that as much as Moses believed when he led the Israelites out of Egypt. For in both instances, it's God's will that slaves be freed. Now, my brothers, we have volunteered, and those of us here tonight must elect our temporary officers and make preparations to report to the command post down in Davenport, be further assigned for training. Now, I say we should first elect him who shall act as our captain, and I can think of none other that would be more qualified than Sewell Farwell. Is there a second to my nomination?
I second the motion.
The vote is unanimous. Sewell is our captain. Congratulations.
Now that we have a captain, maybe you can answer Silas's question. Silas has been bugging me all day, wondering if he has to grow a beard to shine up. And he isn't old enough to grow no whiskers yet. Does he have to grow a beard, Captain?
No, beard is not necessary to become an age fighting man, but age is a requirement. How old are you, son?
I'm 14, sir, and I'm tougher than any man here.
We'll discuss your age and other matters after you have finished electing the rest of the committee. Reverend Amos, thank you for opening this meeting for my nomination of election as your captain. I pledge to do my utmost in upholding high traditions of fighting men for Iowa. Let us proceed.
Captain Farwell then turns and notices for the first time that one of the volunteers is dressed in a bonnet and gingham dress.
Young lady, who might you be? What is your purpose of being here?
Well, I'm here to join with the menfolk. I'm going south to fight the rebels. My brother's already down south, and I'm a lot tougher than he is. I could whip him any day of the week. And besides that, I got my own musket. Why, I can shoot the eye out of a squirrel at 100 yards. I'm Jane Clark, and I'm a-going.
We'll handle that part of our business after we have finished electing the rest of the committee.
The meeting continues with the election of the Reverend Mr. Amos as First Lieutenant, James Dawson, Second Lieutenant, and James Bludgett, Orderly. Captain Farwell administers the oath. He tells the men to go home and prepare to leave by train within 2 days. At this point, voices are heard, and 2 men appear at the door, carrying carrying small barrel apples. One of these men is Marcus Farwell, Captain Farwell's brother.
Sewell, I thought all along you'd be like the captain. So I brought a barrel of apples as a celebration gift. They are the finest apples grown around here.
While the apples are being passed around, loud voices can be heard from out on the street. An unruly crowd is gathered beneath a large tree across the street from the school, about where the front door to McNeil's Hardware is now.
Crowd outside will capture somebody who is in sympathy with the South, and I'm afraid they intend to do him serious bodily harm.
Come on, man, let us go down and see what this is all about.
Captain Farwell and his men go down to the street. As they reach the scene, one loud voice is heard to say,
"Many of you have known me since you first arrived here, for I was here to greet you. I have been a friend to all of you, but because my views on slavery differ from yours, you would condemn me to death."
Captain Farwell steps up to the man, who has had his arms bound and has a hangman's noose around his neck.
Are you not Daniel Varvel, first settler of this village, and the man referred to as the father of our town?
That I am, sir.
Hang the copperhead. String him up. Don't waste any time.
Men, tonight you have elected me as your captain. My first order to you is to protect this man from the mob. For while there was still a breath of life within me, I shall not let such ghastly events take place in this community and mar its image forever.
3 cheers for the captain. Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray!
Daniel Varvel remains in Monticello until after the Civil War. However, due to unfriendliness from the townspeople, stemming from his southern sympathies, especially from the soldiers returning from the war, Varvel, his family is now mostly grown, and he himself, nearing the age of 60, moves to Correctionville, Iowa, near Sioux City. There he lives out his life. The grave for this founder of Monticello is marked with a small stone. It reads, Daniel Varvel, died February 2nd, 1890, age 81 years, 2 months, 13 days, gone but not forgotten. That's the end. Historical quilt. She has written famous women of the day, requesting pieces of silk from a favorite dress. To quote from Harriet's letter, she wrote, "Although I'm in my 69th year, I have partaken of the spirit that is pervading the whole world to contribute something to the women's exhibit of the Columbian Exposition of 1893, also known as the Chicago World's Fair. 76 women respond by sending pieces of silk from their dresses. Tonight, we join Harriet and her friends in the parlor of her daughter's home in Monticello. The year is 1893.
Aren't you glad that Harriet invited us over to see his finished quilt?
You know, she sends it off tomorrow, the Board of Governors and the Chicago Fair.
And how considerate of her to make us these charts so that we can tell which piece of silk each lady sent.
Isn't it wonderful that President Harrison's wife found time to respond?
And send such a lovely piece with the Capitol building painted on.
Of course, Harriet put that piece in the center. And here is a piece from President Hayes' wife. And one from Mrs. Ulysses Grant. And made myself from Dolly Madison.
And that red came from P.T. Barnum. You know, Harriet has always loved the circus.
Oh, there's a piece from Elizabeth Cady Stanton.
And one from Julia Ward Howe.
And even Susan Lee Anthony sent a piece of silk.
After all, when Harriet thought of making this quilt, she was very impressed with the contributions that women were making all over this country.
Do you really think we'll ever get the vote?
Oh,
must have found a letter.
I finally found Frances Willard's letter. You know, Frances is head of the Women's Christian Temperance Union, and her secretary lost my complete address. First, she sent the letter to Harriet Chamberlain, Monticello, Illinois, and it was returned. Then to Monticello, Missouri, and the letter came back. Can you believe that she sent it to Monticello, New York, Monticello, Arkansas, Monticello, Wisconsin, and finally to Monticello, Iowa. But by that time, I had finished the quilt. So I've written Frances that I appreciated her sending the silks, and I'm going to make a silk quilt.
Harriet, we think the quilt is just beautiful.
In the 1890s, we were liable to hear some mighty fine harmony around the piano, and the Lovell House was the scene of many a dance.
Oh,
down the street a couple of blocks, the Lovell House. It bustled with activity as travelers arrived daily at the nearby train depot. Businesses on Main Street seemed to rise and fall like ocean waves. Yet prosperity flourished. Merchants touted themselves and their products boldly and proudly in every way to attract your attention and your pocketbook. Perhaps, though, the best advertisement was a long-lived establishment, and there were many of those. Say, there's J.W. Doxson going into J.G. Suter's City Meat Market. Then she'll be buying some of those great wieners, pickled pork, beef roast. Well, let's find out what she's buying.
How do you do, Mrs. Doxson? How's Charlie?
Oh, fine, fine.
Is there anything I can do for you today?
Yes, I made some meat for dinner tonight.
Well, we have a lot of specials. We have corned beef, pickled pork,
Bring it in.
three-rings bologna for a quarter. We have some nice roasts, and we do have a special on chicken.
Yes, I think I'll just have a pound of wieners, please.
Okay. Now that should be a pound.
Yes, just a pound, please.
Now don't accuse me of weighing myself. Before you leave, on this chicken special, I just happen to have one left. Just wondering if you'd be interested.
No, I think not. I think the wieners will be fine.
I know Charlie would like stew.
Well, yes,
Or
but
stewed chicken.
this is for a weekday dinner, not a Sunday dinner. So
Okay.
there'd be no point in taking the chicken.
Okay.
Thank you for
I
the
think
wieners.
you have the winner.
Thank you.
Then J.W. told the missus to buy some of Snyder's catsup, too. Yes, sir, you get the best at Suter's. I imagine she might make another stop at Lonley Grocer's for some of his widely advertised Heinz pickles and fresh fruit. You can always trot on over to John Bryan's buffet for one of his good meals. Cheap, too. Look at that, will you? There go three young lads who have been to Louis Starry's cigar store for a pop. But they sneaked off with three of his own famous hand-rolled cigars. It appears they're heading out behind the post office for a few puffs. Boy, will they be green around the gills after one deep breath of one of those cigars. I see Mr. Redmond going into Ernie Skelly's Variety to get Doc some new cuff and collar buttons. Rolling up your sleeve to do some quick surgery is enough to make any man lose a few buttons. Wouldn't be surprised if she slundered on over to Hicks and Wickless and found herself a nice bolt of fabric for a new dress. Here she comes, and look, she's going to show Mrs. Doxy what she bought. It's a new kerosene lamp. You just can't depend on electricity nowadays. It's too new. Lamps are mighty handy for an emergency, especially when your husband is a doctor, and he sometimes has to ride off into the wilds to answer a call. Now Mrs. Doxy is showing her recent purchase from Hicks and Wickless. Can't tell what it is. Oh, I think J.W. would just assume we didn't know.
Go, boys.
Boys, kids. Buffer.
your money's worth at Louis Starry's cigar store. Must be about closing time. The clock tower is chiming. And here comes John Walker and A.J.H. McNeil on their way home. But first, better stop at Jack's barber shop to catch up on the latest gossip, happenings in town. Important things, you know. There's Jack giving the customer a shave right now. I think he's a Stooler boy. Probably ran into the business got slow in the store. Some Saturday nights, Jack gets really swamped. Baths are only at quarter.
Hello, gentlemen. Hello, Jack. Afternoon, Jack. Who's that poor soul you're skinning in here today?
Hey, fellas, it's me, Fred Stooler. Do I look that bad?
Guess you don't look any worse than that poor old butchered hog I saw hanging over Tudor's this morning.
Come on, fellas, let's finish this on a little better note than that.
The old songs, the old songs, the good old songs for me. I love to hear those minor chords and good close
Hey, that didn't sound too bad, did it?
Too bad at all.
Well, you know, they've asked us to sing at the Opera House on Saturday night. Honest? And we should get a song ready. Do we have any music here? You think it'd be any good if we did it? No. But we try, and I'll be frank.
Oh, I'm Frank.
Oh, you're Frank.
Yeah.
Oh, pardon me.
Just happen to have this here.
Okay. Steers and humming on the honeysuckle vine, sleep Kentucky babe. Sandman am I coming for this little babe of mine, sleep Kentucky babe. Silvery moon and shining in the heavens up above, bobbling to find for his little lady love. You is mine Kentucky, babe of old Kentucky, close your eyes in sleep. Fly away, love, fly away, Kentucky babe, fly away to rest. Fly away, lay your pinky woolly head on your mammy's breast. Close your eyes in sleep.
Did you see any of them down on the street?
No, I haven't seen anybody. Well, I saw a couple of them talking away.
Well, since we're still waiting for the ladies, let's go through the Light of Rose number and then we'll be ready for the ladies. Is that all right? Now, I know you're all excited, but we've got to still rehearse for our program. We know that the world famous opera singer is going to perform in Monticello real soon, so let's practice our very best. Maybe she'll come and listen to us.
Now here is my love song, not fancy or fine. Light a rose, oh, won't you be mine? Light a rose, I
you want it?
That's great. Maybe over there where you were before, and any person has discussed wonderful last time. So we just do it like we did before. It should be great. Share that. Are you ready? Pick a little chocolate, pick a little chocolate, chip, 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 pick a little more, pick a little chocolate, pick a little chocolate, chip, 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 pick a little more, pick a little chocolate, pick a little chocolate, chip, 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 pick a little more, pick a little chocolate, pick a little chocolate, chip, 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 pick a little chocolate, pick a little chocolate, chip, 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 pick a little more, pick a little chocolate, pick a little chocolate, chip, 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 pick a little more, pick a little chocolate, pick a little chocolate, chip, 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 pick a little more, pick a little chocolate, pick a little chocolate, chip, 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 pick a little more, pick a little chocolate, pick a little chocolate, chip, 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 pick a little more, pick a little chocolate, pick a little chocolate, chip, 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 pick a little more, pick a little chocolate, pick a little chocolate, chip, 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 pick a little more, pick a little chocolate, pick a little chocolate, chip, 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 pick a little more, pick a little chocolate, pick a little chocolate, chip, 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 pick a little more, pick a little chocolate, pick a little chocolate, chip, 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 pick a little more, pick a little chocolate, pick a little chocolate, chip, 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 pick a little more, pick a little chocolate, pick a little chocolate, chip, 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 pick a little more, pick a little chocolate, pick a little chocolate, chip, 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 pi
Some of their students have experienced unusual success far from their hometown. One student we feel a great pride in is here tonight. From international career in opera and from her home in Paris, France, we are very proud to introduce to you Monticello's own Sherry Greenawald. Intended to be funny. I'll just come in from this side, okay?
Yeah, no, I like this
Let's start that one over.
But we forgot.
Priest, so did the need for a school. And as a result, a log cabin was purchased outside of town, dismantled, and reassembled near what today is Highway 151 on the north edge of town. Lumber had to be hauled from Dubuque by ox cart to modify this log cabin into a building suitable for a school. The school's first teacher, Rosalia Bartholomew. The school opened in 1849. A look at the early pupil roll. A look at the early pupil roll reflects some familiar names. There was Sarah and William George, and the Skellings, Lucinda, Lizzie, and James. This one-room school building served for about 9 years, until 1858. At that time, the township was organized into school districts, and the decision was made to build a new frame schoolhouse. It was done on the site where today's community building now stands. It measured 36 feet by 24 feet at a cost of $1,200. The pay for the first teacher in that new school, $27 a month.
Take a chair off if you think it's wrong. Okay. Class, today we are going to have a spell down. Now, the words I will be giving you are the words from your list for the year. Hey, Angie, why don't we start with you? Constitution.
Constitution. C-O-N-S-T-I-T-U-T-I-O-N. Constitution.
Very good, Angie. Clark, why don't you try today?
Today. T-O-D-A-Y. Today.
Very good, Clark. Very well. Jennifer, let's have you try Monticello.
Monticello. M-O-N-T-I-C-E-L-L-O. Monticello.
Good for you. You remembered the 2 L's this time. Good for you, Jennifer. Brett, why don't you try necessary?
Necessary. N-E-C-S-A-R-Y.
I'm sorry, Brett. That isn't right. You'll have to take your place in the corner and study that. Angie, how would you like to try Republic?
Republic. R-E-P-U-B-L.
Ow! Brett, I have had enough of that for one day. You take your place in the corner.
Monticello Academy, established in 1866, became a high school. In 1875, Monticello had its first high school graduation. The size of that first graduation class, 1 student, Lizzie Burnham. The following year, there were 5 graduates. A far cry from the humble beginnings in the makeshift one-room school is the present system, rated as one of the finest schools in Iowa. In addition to its academic excellence, the school offers many extracurricular activities in which participation is encouraged and through which the school has gained recognition. This is what might happen after a typical school day.
Yeah, they need more light on them. Okay. Which light is it? I think maybe we need house light. No,
somewhere in the middle.
Please don't touch the cucumber sandwiches. They were ordered specially for Aunt Augusta.
Well, you have been eating them all the time.
Well, that is quite a different matter. She is my aunt. Have some bread and butter. The bread and butter is for Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn is devoted to bread and butter.
And very good bread and butter it is, too.
Well, my dear fellow, you need not eat it as if you were going to eat it all. You behave as if you were married already. You are not married already, and I doubt you ever will be.
Why on earth do you say that?
Well, in the first place, girls never marry the men they flirt with. Girls don't think it right.
Oh, that's nonsense.
It isn't. It is a great truth. It accounts for the extraordinary number of bachelors that one sees all over town. In the second place, I don't give my consent.
Your consent?
My dear fellow, Gwendolyn is my first cousin. And before I allow you to marry her, you will have to clear up the whole question of Cecily.
Cecily? What on earth do you mean? What do you mean, Algie, by Cecily? I don't know anyone by the name of Cecily. Well, if you want to know, Cecily happens to be my aunt.
Your aunt?
Hey, Aaron, get over here.
Yeah, don't leave him standing there waiting, please. Okay, that went really well. That's all, Tom, for today. Okay, here we go.
Bum, bum, honey gal, I love you. Indeed, I do, my little honey gal. You're like the morning dew, boom, boom, boom. Dreamy eyes that seem to hypnotize my little honey. I love you, I love you. Bum, 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 honey gal, you're like the breeze that sighs when moonbeams creep along with shadows in the trees. So let me take you in my arms tonight. You're my little honey gal.
Thank you, guys. That was fun. She needs to miss you.
How much time is there in here?
This is it, just this song.
Those things just not far enough.
I believe there are quite a few people here that probably could sing along with that.
I believe there are quite a few people here that can sing along with that.
Where are our ladies of the club?
Where are the ladies of the club?
Okay, up on your feet and right where you are, leading the song. Please do it. Yeah, okay. And then say, artist. Sing, Monty High. Stay with her. Louder, artist, they can't hear you. And I hope it'll be G, cannot just, no. Just hold it at the end. Oh, come on, you can do a lot better than that. Stand up. Yes, stand up, all you alums. Don't tell me I have a whole cast out here that didn't go to Monty High. Hey, you know that's Harold. Come on, stand up. We hope you're standing over the audience. Oh, Monty High, oh, make your glory. And then there's two more lines. Okay, now this time, really with it. Come on. Oh, Monty High. Oh, make your glory ever rise. That's it. Oh, Monty High, oh, Monty High. Oh, make your glory ever rise.
Captain Farwell deserves credit for its beginning. Late in his life, Farwell gave to Monticello the beautiful monument in Oakwood Cemetery in honor of the Civil War dead. Since then, there have been 5 more wars at the cost of each generation's young. Annually, we honor veterans, both living and dead, from those 6 wars.
Now, Spot, David, you hit these 4 people over here.
Your neckerchief, sailor.
Dad, I did not enlist in India, did Vicky. I forgot to get your 2 fellas that are World War I and II. I mean, in Korea. No, yeah. Okay, I don't know. Okay. Mark Digman and, he just went out with the band. He's not going to be able to do it. Oh, boy, he's on the program. Yeah. He's out with the band. Rob Edwards here. Yeah, right there. Yes, you stay down here. Where am I put you there? Yeah. Stay right there. Okay. We'll be right here. You'll be right there. Fine.
They'll be there.
Yeah. And then after the band and all those people have gone through, these other people can't get through. You can go up here if you like, because we're going to have a little ceremony on that. Go up here. Yeah, okay, I don't want to see. I don't want the trumpet player sing. I want to hear. I like it right there. Or he can come out and fall. I would like to sit
Why
back
don't you
here.
just stay back here? Then you won't have to do a lap around here. That's good.
Okay, now you that are here, stand and face this direction. Don't cover the monument. Oh, you're not safe back there. I'm sorry. Come on out. Remembering. Yeah, and you can be here with your head bowed, and then you would turn this way. You just remembering this way, not yet. No. Head down. Head up and turn. Okay, then you come. Come over. Put your arm around her shoulder, and I hope the two of you don't fall down. Come here and look down together. First with your heads down, and then more. Stay right
continuing organization in the Monticello community, and that it will be alive and well at 123 years next month. It's the biggest shared experience of the citizens of this county, and one that continues to be anticipated by thousands each August for 5 exciting, glorious, fun-filled days and nights. We accept that it's held at the Monticello Park, and that each year it features top entertainers, a pet steer show and borrow show, 4-H and FFA exhibits, a midway, races, both horse and car, band concerts, and stage entertainment. But it was not always thus. A friend loaned me this little book the other evening, and I found it full of fascinating facts about the development of our fair. The time and place of birth was harvest season, 1853, at Bowen's Prairie. A county-wide picnic included display, study, and comparison of the fruits of their farming efforts. The next year, rural Olin as host, and the third year, the village of Anamosa, where an average of 40 persons a day viewed agricultural products, blankets, and quilts. Back north of Monticello at Bowen's Prairie, only to be claimed by Monticello again in 1867. Financially, there was a loss of nearly $50, perhaps due to premiums such as the $10 awarded Mr. Pete for the best cultivated farm in the entire county. In its 10th year, the fairgrounds were next to the Anamosa racetrack. The best yoke of oxen, trotting horse, and best farm won only $5. But the fair showed a profit of 10 cents. During the Civil War, people had less time and interest in fairs, and only by the efforts of men like Major Farwell, the new president of the Fair Board, in 1874, did the fair continue. It also moved to Monticello Park ground, a 40-acre tract with wide expanse of level ground, shade trees, and a national amphitheater. This was to become the Monticello City Park. A solid 8-foot-high board fence surrounded the entire area. A floral hall, constructed with an open-row pavilion and dining hall, was also the area used for promenading for a slight fee. Now, Anamosa, not to be outdone, organized its own fair. It was the first to include over 100 art exhibits in the 1879 exhibition. Monticello offered $100 for the best band playing, and an equal $100 for the best stable of horses. The newspaper headlines admonished local poor, and I quote, "To go to the fair for relaxation, socializing, comparing notes on the best of livestock, art, flowers, to instill high standards of taste and habits in boys and girls befitting the culture and refinement of the age in which they live." By 1844, when the fair was in its 30th year, the train coaches could not carry all the passengers coming for the record day of 5,000 persons. Some rode in cattle cars and on top of the coaches. Several years later, trains were arriving from Fayette, Oxford Junction, Cedar Rapids, and Farley, bringing hundreds of fairgoers. By now, arriving trains were met with the gala fanfare featuring bands in the bright, bunting-decked depot park. Drays and surreys created clouds of dust on Sycamore Street as the drivers raced for the business. Fairgoers were able to enjoy 3 concessions, still popular over a century later. A Kathy Hook and a maple tree provided the site for the first cream candy. Major Winter Noble served hot buttered popcorn and entertaining banter and cold root beer by Yvette or Kay. Lunch stands today do not have the problem of the waitresses bustles scratching the back of the dining customers. I'll work on it. Demonstrations were also a great part of the 4-H scene at the fair. The girls usually did such things as sewing and cooking, and the boys such demonstrations as cleaning engines and carpentry. Therefore, it took some courage for two young men to defy tradition and do a grilling demonstration. They were well rewarded as they took their act to the state fair and won the highest honor by bringing home a purple ribbon.
Oh, no, wait a minute, wait. See if we can get our personal.
Oh, well, you...
I'm sorry.
Okay.
And the lights on.
All right.
Where I can look down where he is.
On the
I left the
grilling?
lights, I don't, so they get from reading something that he hasn't seen until today.
On the part about the grilling, you want to open?
Okay, the grilling has a 4-H demonstration. That is a demonstration.
No.
Yeah, it's a well,
Grilling
no,
is
we're way past the judging of pigs. There's someplace in there. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So this paragraph that starts demonstration. Oh, no, horse racing. Maybe there's another sheet back here then. Yeah. How would I, so I think that third sheet. There must be another sheet. There's a handwritten sheet you don't have then yet, Nick. What's the last thing you said in my type?
Well,
About the concession. Loretta and I were whispering right there. Something is carried through today.
John Barron's in the auditorium.
as a record number of young people brought animals to the fair, there was keen competition, and many hours were spent in judging. Finally, a winner was declared. Pause here.
Well, now, what did you say?
Finally, the winner was declared.
No, that, yeah, but he hasn't said anything evident about the, first comes about the horse racing.
What do you mean by the horses burned to death and the harness racing? Normal way.
But you're looking at the horses racing.
Which way are they going by you beside that?
They'll be going this way. They'll go. Who wants to be the horse?
At the fair, they go this way. Pass it that way. Now they go back.
Here's the horse. 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 Here's the horse.
Come on,
You don't have power,
The fair also expanded. The livestock barns were overflowing as a record number of young people brought animals to the fair.
Right there.
There was keen competition, and many hours were spent in judging. But finally, a winner was declared.
Spot off. And done.
Winner was declared.
Demonstrations were also a great part of the 4-H scene at the fair. The girls usually did such things as sewing and cooking,
Spot on Tim and
and
Ron.
the boys such demonstrations as cleaning engines and carpentry. Therefore, it took some courage for two young men to defy tradition and do a grilling demonstration. They were well rewarded as they took their act to the state fair and won the highest honor by bringing home a purple ribbon. The Great Jones County Fair has changed and adjusted through the years to fit and reflect the times and the people whom it serves. Hopefully, it will always remain a celebration of harvest, the end of summer, and a drawing together of the good people of Jones County and the surrounding areas in appreciation of each other and all their varied interests.
I don't like this reading. But you see, they're off the choir rehearsal. See, they can't come. They're down practicing choir.
Is there anybody here tonight that's going to be in the last scene where all the
Some of you.
families come, where the families come up? Is there anybody here tonight that's going to be in the last scene?
Okay, on stage.
Would you please go up there and be in
We
that
need to see
scene?
what the fair is so light up there.
And let's have some children. Are there any parents here with children?
She needs to be on the right. There.
I want to eat.
Line.
We're gonna need a song.
it's dark, then you just come out of your seats. If you're out here. If you're not out here, then you're going to have to wait back there anyway if you're in the last seat. Unless you have a paid seat and are out front, you will be waiting back there for the last seat. Some people might do it. And if you don't want to come, you like to come from the audience for the last scene anyway. So you might as well come and scene before.
Yeah, I would rather that they come from that back and be in place. It's just because of the stairs and the dark side. Oh, I tripped twice tonight. And so light and it's something dark. So if you're going to be in the scene and help out with Mrs. Seconds and everybody, we need you to be back in that walkway, okay, area, and then you'll come back. For this is scene 9. Scene 9. For the Great Falls County Fair.
When the, what is it right after? It's right after the
Memorial Day Parade.
Memorial Day Parade, when all the people are going back to work.
Loretta, I want one more smile in this. In this sheet that I can't find, it has this much transition on it. I mentioned the beginning of the midway. And I really want you to find a barker who can be calling off stage. There's one. Yeah. People come to the midway, see the girlies and so on. I want some couples up here where a couple of guys start to get up and leave in the white dress. Oh. So, if your spouse won't come, you gotta find somebody else. You're out, your wife isn't here. Gail! I'd like you sitting here beside Bud, and Bud gets up ready to leave for the girly show. But he doesn't get you. And I think you need to buddy beside him. Same thing, so we just slide over and get another wife here, or we get a wife right here, Clarence, and you two try to leave. I think that'd be just fine, and you don't get Gail there and Virginia there. Oh, yeah, she will be. She will be. Yeah, I hope so. Well, then find another couple of candy. Would Lorena go with you, Jerry? Lorena! Well, okay. Allow them, Delmer. Please. Because once we have some men together, discuss it. Start to get up. They weren't paying attention to us. You're too soft spoken, Eleanor. They heard me. They did? Okay. Oh, I see. Albert, let me be on the other side of it. I don't like this. Now, you've just heard that there's an early show. I might be able, come on, start moving. I might be able to. Well, it'll bring a laughter. It's a special, that's it. Yeah, okay, a tape would be a safe thing then. Yeah. If the tape doesn't work, we'll have Mr. Erdahl, please. Have a line ready. Well, midway in the early show, yeah.
The old feel old and the old get feel gay.
Is this modern?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be in the...
You have to have your skirt changed later anyway.
It's supposed to be in the 60s.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for being good sports. Come in through the catwalk and you come in right after the band is over. Okay, now you've got a light to come down the steps. Come down and enjoy the choir. I found 4 men out of the choir who would... No, we're looking at a location for how to do it without bending the curtain around, getting it around. I really feel that I don't want these men to have that responsibility. They've got this to do. I got both sets. We were telling our work on how's that? Say, well, I don't know, John is right in the spotlight, but other than that, it's fine. Okay, that's all right. Well, it's fine. They can't see the
See the glory of
Monticello, Monticello, will you always, always be? I may travel the world over, all the sights I wish to see. I may want to roam, but I'll be home to Monticello happily. With plodding oxen follow the trail as they pull the wagons west. Through the weary traveler pitched his camp where needed day-long rest. Here shell-covered ladies stop to store, working in salt and flour. Hear the beautiful choir atop the school, tolled out for all the hours. Monticello, Monticello, you're a dear old place to be. Monticello, Monticello, will you always, always be? I may travel the world over, all the sights I wish to see. I may want to roam, but I'll be home to Monticello happily. Now the trails have turned to highways, and overhead the plains, with rockets roaring into space, the measure of our gain. Now we shall come and we shall go, they say that time does fly, but your past and future come toward us like a rainbow in the sky. You're a dear old place to be, Monticello, Monticello, will you always, always be? I may travel the world over, all the sights I wish to see. I may want to roam, but I'll be home to Monticello happily.
Dress cool. Dwayne tells me that's all the windows will open. We're going to find among people volunteers to bring in fans. We must have the fans in the corner of this room because you see it's only half full now. People from the following fan that I could have you tonight to take the message home, what to do. Skilly. Is Shirley back yet? Okay, she's back there to be your hostess. Okay, Whittemore, that means Gail McNeil. No, it means Bud McNeil, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Howie. Ken's out there? Okay, fine. Hogan. That means James. And is Dominic out here yet? Poor tired kid? Okay. Is your dad here? All right, fine. Ely. Come on, Mark, fine, okay? And any of your ancestors, or descendants that are here. Fairbanks. Who's out there? Willis out there? Fine. Can't see what other hand went up, but the Fairbanks are here then. Jacobs, that would be Marge, and I don't know whether she's come back. What? I'm here. Okay, fine. Loker. Here. Okay. Here. Should have 4 of you here. 2 Lokers, 2 strip matters. Oh, no, sorry about Andy. Hosford.
Yeah.
Helgens.
Here.
Good. Adam.
Yeah.
Dale, that is. And is any of the other branch here? Just Dale's tonight, okay? Muller. Jerry, Catherine, Tom. Anybody can answer me? Good, I see it now. You see, I can't see out there. Casper. They were here and left. Margaret didn't come over, did she? Okay, Wookie Barons.
Yo.
Thank you. Dedeker. Come on, I saw Louise. Louise, are you still here? Yes. Okay, Loretta came in? I'm here. Okay. Who charge is down here? Are you here, Paul Skelly? Or Paul, Speck? See if we can get him around here before we break up. All right, okay, Nick is not going to say what he's going to do now. We're going to open the curtain, please.